All right, let's jump right into a question that's been making some serious waves in the AI space. Could a company called BigBear.ai really be the next NVIDIA? Now, that is a massive claim, so let's dig into the numbers and see what's actually happening.
Okay, so first, take a look at this chart. This is what's getting everyone so fired up. Over the last year, NVIDIA, they're the undisputed king of AI hardware, right? Their stock went up a very, very nice 33%. But then you look at BigBear.ai, and wow. In the same time frame, its stock exploded by a staggering 181%. When you see a number like that, you've got to ask, what in the world is going on here? What's the real story behind this incredible surge? Is this all just market hype, or is there something fundamental changing inside this company that actually justifies this level of excitement? That's exactly what we're about to break down.
So it turns out, all this optimism, it isn't really about what the company has done in the past. It's all about its super aggressive, forward-looking strategy. This is not a company that's just sitting back and playing defense. Oh no, they are making some huge, deliberate moves to totally reshape their future.
And this comes directly from the top. The CEO, Kevin McAleenan, he basically said it himself on a recent earnings call. He made it crystal clear they are on the attack, using their cash and their position to grow. In his exact words, they're going on offense. And the biggest part of that offensive play is a massive new deal.
And here it is. This is the one move that has everybody talking. The acquisition of a company called AskSage. And listen, this isn't just some small purchase. It's being framed as a total game changer for where BigBear is headed. So what's the big deal with AskSage?
Okay, so here's why this is so important. AskSage fits perfectly into BigBear's target market. We're not talking about just another AI tool here. This thing was built from the ground up for the super high-stakes world of defense and national security. It has one of the highest levels of federal security clearance. It's called FedRAMP High, which is a huge barrier that keeps competitors out. It already supports over 100,000 government users, and its recurring revenue is on track to grow by 6 times next year. So BigBear isn't just buying a startup. They're buying a trusted, ready-to-go platform with a massive customer base already built in.
And get this, they've got the cash to make these big moves. BigBear is sitting on a war chest of almost $500 million. That gives them a ton of firepower to close the AskSage deal, go after other opportunities, and just scale up their operations really, really fast.
So, you've got a game-changing acquisition, a vault full of cash. It sounds like the perfect story, doesn't it? But, any smart investor knows you always have to ask, what's the catch? And to find that, we've got to pop the hood and look at the company's financial reality right now.
All right, let's switch gears and see how this amazing story about the future stacks up against how the company is actually performing today. And, well, this is where the picture gets a little more complicated. So if you look at their latest quarterly results, you see a completely different narrative. Revenue actually went down compared to last year, from about $41 million to $33 million. And even more telling, their loss from the actual day-to-day business more than doubled, jumping from $10.5 million to almost $22 million. This brings up a pretty big question.
You might have seen some headlines saying that BigBear actually posted a net income of $2.5 million, which, hey, that sounds great, but it seems to completely contradict the operating loss we just looked at. So where did that profit come from?
And here is the crucial detail. That profit wasn't from selling more software or services. Nope, it came from a $26 million non-cash gain. Basically, it's a financial adjustment related to the accounting value of their debt. It's not a sign that the core business is suddenly making money. And for any investor, that is a really, really important distinction. And this really gets to the heart of why comparing BigBear directly to NVIDIA is so tricky. BigBear is a software and services company that's in the middle of a tough transition, trying to manage declining revenue from its old business while betting everything on this new acquisition. NVIDIA, on the other hand, is a hardware giant that's dominating its market and churning out massive, consistent profits. They're just playing two completely different games right now. So after all that, where does it leave us? You've got this story of incredible future potential clashing with a pretty challenging present reality. What's the final verdict on BigBear.ai? Is it a good bet?
Look, let's just be direct about it. Based on the fundamentals today, calling BigBear.ai the next NVIDIA is just getting way ahead of ourselves. They are not in the same universe when it comes to profits or their position in the market. That comparison, at least for now, is just premature.
But hold on, because that is not the end of the story.
While the company isn't NVIDIA today, a lot of professional analysts on Wall Street think its aggressive strategy could really pay off down the line. They see something here. If you look at the forecasts, Wall Street's average price target sees the stock going up about 11% from where it is now. But the really optimistic analysts, their high target sees a potential jump of nearly 33%, hitting $8 a share. What this tells us is that even with the current struggles, a lot of smart people think the company is undervalued and that its huge bet on Ask is going to work. And that leaves us with the big final question. BigBear.ai has made a really bold strategic move to buy a key player in a high-growth market that's hard to get into. And they've got the cash to make it all happen. The real bet here isn't on what the company is today, but on what it could become tomorrow. The question you have to ask yourself is, will that future get here fast enough?